list, no? So, napasok na yung industrial design, yung mga a little bit of my architecture dyan sa ating scholarship program.
Sa mga primary, mga lower?
Lower, we incorporate art in the training. Basta ang content science, but the approach is like art.
Last comment. Last comment. Yes. Anyway, just sort of in addition to that, actually you can really create science for arts. Like when I look at music, music is a lot of, the physics of music, you look at it from the point of view of waves, etc., how you make instruments, how you make all the sounds, how the ears respond to it, how it vibrates, and all those different frequencies. Same thing, even painting, light, how you combine the different primary colors, and so on. Even dancing, there's a lot of science into the forms and so on, aesthetics of dancing and so on. The divine proportion, maybe, right, which is 1 minus 1 over e, the natural logarithm, the Finnian logarithm, and so on. All these things, but anyway, it's like, you can always
I wrote that question. Hindi niya nabasa. So that means that my style of writing was not artful. So as a scientist, I was not able to communicate properly. No? That's one way that is a demonstration of why we need art in our science education program, which we can call, actually, other countries called STEAM. It's called STEAM.
Yes, we do that for basic education, no? And even, plug ko lang, I'm also an artist, no? I paint. So I use a lot of science in my painting, and I give painting lessons for free. Science in art.
With artificial intelligence now, actually just draw some few strokes with generative adversarial networks. The program can complete some things for you, but I don't know what your opinion about that is, because there are programs that can draw paintings by themselves. Also, not to forget, yung si Steve Jobs, he worked in the nexus of art and technology, and look what he has produced, no? So, a new model for distribution of music, and being able to do programs with music. So, it's important that even engineers, scientists, and technologists appreciate and know something about art.
Okay, our... Tinawag na ako ng ombudsman.
Tanong lang ang Dr. Bio. Pag non-STEM ba sa senior high, pwede, are you qualified to take the DOST scholarships? Okay, anong qualification? For example, HAMSIA or ABM?
Basta upper 10% lang sila ng graduating class. Lahat ng mga STEM areas, wala na kami 10%, lahat ng STEM track pwede na kumuha ng exam. But for non-STEM track, in the past gusto namin STEM track lang. Pero sabi ni Secretary, bakit natin i-limit? So, napakaganda naman ang result. Last year lang kami nagbigay ng scholarship ng exam, no? For both STEM and non-STEM. And out of the 8,000 passers, last year, 3,000 plus came from the non-STEM track. Kaya lang nagkakaproblema daw sila sa college kasi may mga bridging program na kailangan. So, na-extend yung kanilang scholarship period. So, kasi yung contract nagsasabi na kung 4 years ang courses mo, 4 years course mo, 4 years ka lang mag-scholarship. Sabi ko, let's cross the bridge when we get there. Titignan natin kung evaluate natin after 4 years, kung pwede pang extend, no? I also have some good news. Wag na problema pag-uusapan natin dito, no? So, medyo good news din ito, but hindi pa conclusive. For the 10,000, for this year's result of the scholarship exam, kasi ngayon talaga ang pinakamarami kumuha, I think almost 84,000 kung idagdag pa natin yung rider na OWA na kumuha din ng exam natin, overseas Filipino workers, children. Significantly higher ang results ng pumasa, no? We can even give as much as 14,000 scholarships kung may pera lang. Kasi passing pa rin ang scores na nasa baba. And hindi pa kami nag-analyze kung ano ang result, significantly higher than in the previous batches. Well, in fact, bago ang exam namin ngayon. Binase namin sa K-12 curriculum. So maybe this junior high. So maybe this is an indicator na while marami pa tayong problema sa grades 11 and 12, nag-improve talaga yung knowledge nila ng science and math. At kailangan lang tatsahin ang curriculum natin kasi makikita sa scores. And there are not, wala nang outliers among the region eh. Halos lahat ng region para parehas ang scores ng mga passing students. In other words, parang nationwide ang impact, but we still need to do some study about it.
Thank you po. We have maraming salamat sa ating speakers at sa ating first the questions that we have are many. So makikita po natin na there is high and sustained interest in human capital generation, which is very important for this country because maraming challenges tayo. Kung wala naman tayong competent people to solve it, we will just end up in courts. So thank you very much.
To get out scientists out of
So, we would like to call on Regional Director Experience India to assist us in the art and theory.
Good morning, everyone. We will be moving immediately to our plenary session number 4. So may I request our speakers to be seated at the table. Our President of the National Academy of Science and Technology, the Division Dr. Villasansa, our National Scientist, Lourdes J. Cross, and ang ating punong kabala sa DOST-Philippines, Miss Luningning Samarita Lino. Again, pleasant morning to everybody. I am Ernesto Granada, the Assistant Regional Director of the Department of Science and Technology, Regional Office number 8, the host, DOST Regional Office for this year's Visayas Regional Scientific Meeting. Welcome to the 4th plenary session of the 2019 Visayas Regional Scientific Meeting. In this session, we'll have 3 speakers who will give us updates from the National Academy of Science and Technology, Philippines, who are right now seated at the head table. As you can see, considering that the month of March is celebrated as the Women's Month. You can see we have women's power at the head table. But before we get started, I want to take a few minutes of your time for the reminders. We would like to remind our speakers that they will be given 10 minutes each for their presentations. Considering perhaps that it's already near 12 noon. And after the talks of our speakers, a short open forum will be conducted. We would like to remind the audience to write their questions on the piece of paper that will be provided by the ushers and usherettes, together with your name and affiliation before writing your questions. Please give your questions to the ushers and usherettes at the side of the stage. To manage our time, priority will be given to the written questions. Our first speaker will discuss updates on the 40th Annual Scientific Meeting resolutions and the Blue Economy. She is the President of the National Academy of Science and Technology, Philippines, and Chair of its Biological Science Division. She was elected to the Academy in 2009 for her significant contributions in the field of biology and ecology of harmful microalgae, specifically her pioneering studies on the toxic dinoflagellate species responsible for paralytic shellfish poisoning in the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, let's help me welcome our speaker, the President of the National Academy of Science and Technology in the Philippines, Academician Rodora V. Asansa.
Maraming salamat. You gave me 10 minutes, I can do it in 5 minutes.
That's very good, ma'am.
Okay. So actually, this is just an update of the last year's annual scientific meeting. The work of the Science and Technology Enhanced Transformation for Sustainability and Resiliency. The topics, next slide. The topics actually that were focused on in terms of the SDGs were the following: SDG 6, SDG 7, SDG 8, SDG 9, SDG 11, SDG 12, and SDG 15. But they are really interrelated so that there was no problem in terms of discussions of these various topics. The emphasis also was how to make knowledge available already, how they can be translated into actions in this particular point wherein we have this knowledge already available. So the host that time was the Biological Science Division. There was a focus on the so-called blue economy, as mentioned by the moderator. A lot of people got interested in this. So I will be giving a brief discussion about this blue economy. Okay, the next slide. So there were, as usual, 3 RSMs in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And again, we thank the DOST regional offices for helping us host these different RSMs. And then, the next slide. So after the ASN, so that would be in July, that was in July, we came up with a lengthy resolution. So we prepared the resolution in such a way that we clustered them according to the targets, meaning which one should go to this department and so on, since there were a lot of topics that need to be clustered. Okay, so there were those that goes to that went to the Department of Energy to the Department of Agriculture and so on. So we prepared letters to the Office of the President, the Cabinet, secretaries, the other government agencies, even to the senators and the congressmen, the more important or those who are active in their different committees. And we attached the pertinent resolutions that were crafted during the RSN and the ASN. The next slide. Okay, so there was one office of a senator that immediately responded, almost immediately responded. So without even us asking for an appointment, the office of Senator Angara requested us to have have a meeting with them. And then it turned out that we would be having a series of meetings with them. And the senator was primarily interested in the blue economy. I'll be talking more about this later. And then the other topics that we wanted to talk to them, including the senior staff of Agara, was the procurement law. Ito problema natin, di ba, sa science and technology. Yung paano magbili ng gamit, paano gumamit ng ating mga cash advance, gumawa ng cash advance, and so on. And then also, we wanted to discuss with him retention and development of our S&P personnel. So there was a question, I think, from Dr. Dehato, and it was really intended to show that there is a problem of retention. Maski meron na tayo maraming PhD, maski from the most junior to even the most senior, they tend to get out of the country and go to the greener pasture. So this will be included in the discussion with Senator Angara. The next one. Next slide. Okay, so to those who do not understand or are not familiar with the blue economy, this is part of the general economy of a country that would be focused on the ocean-based and coastal-based economic part, and therefore this would be considering the sustainable utilization of the coast and the ocean resources and environment to help improve human well-being and also considering environmental risk and ecological scarcity. So a number of our Asian neighbors like China, Indonesia, and even Vietnam are into promoting their blue economy. And so therefore, in one of our papers, go to the next slide. The next slide. We pointed out that the country has a great potential to develop our blue economy and probably come up with even more than a trillion pesos potentially economic gain from our blue economy. And these are the different industries that could be developed: fisheries and aquaculture, shipping and marine transport, the ports, tourism, and so on, oil and gas, coastal manufacturing, civil mining and renewable energy, marine biotechnology, and marine transportation, of course. So at the end of the meeting with Senator Angara and the staff, they were able to craft a House resolution, a Senate resolution that will look into the potential of the Philippine blue economy. So we are looking forward to that Senate House resolution and participate in this inquiry into the possibility of using our blue economy potential. The next one. And then there was a response from the Department of Energy, and Secretary Kusi invited the NAST and Academician Kulapa went to see them, and there were discussions about energy needs of the country. The next one. And then the Department of Information and Communication Technology, you have been hearing from him, our focal person, Academician William Torres, met with people there, and there could be some there are indications that there will be progress along this line, meaning the developments that need to be done. The next one. The next one. And then also, one major recommendation during that time was to possibly come up with a Department of Fisheries and Oceans. And that was very strongly recommended by the DAST. And then we sought a meeting with the BFAR director, but he was not available then, was able to talk to the user, to the assistant director, and they said that they are neutral at this point, but they would like to be consulted in this particular endeavor to have a Department of Fisheries and Oceans. The next one. So we have set a number of roundtable discussions, policy and information, fora, and so on and so forth. In fact, we're going to have roundtable discussion regarding the problems of water in Metro Manila, but that is not the only problem that we have now, meaning related to science and technology, but this is the most urgent, especially in Luzon. So I think I will end my report. There are still many things to say, but I have my 10 minutes up. I said 5 minutes later. Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much, Academician Azanza. Please reserve your questions as we will be calling immediately our speaker for the second topic for this fourth session. At this point in time, may I call on our Director of the National Academy of Science and Technology Philippines, Ms. Luningning E. Samarita Domingo, who will be reporting to us on the NAST initiative on the recently passed law on universal health care. Let's give her a round of applause, please.
Thank you very much. I am sharing with you NAST good news and showing also to you that NAST advocacy and advisory role is really moving forward. So, the evolution of the universal health care from the NAST perspective. NAST focal person for this on universal health care is national scientist Ernesto O. Domingo. Unfortunately, he cannot come here, so he designated me to be the one to present this. He was conferred with the Order of National Scientists in 2011. Ernesto O. Domingo is a liver specialist and medical educator. He continues his research and service to the nation by acting as advisor and consultant to different major research projects. He is a founding member of the Universal Clinic Healthcare Advocacy Group, which is conducting studies on the reforms needed to achieve universal health care for Filipinos. Early in 2010, NAST Philippines held a roundtable discussion about universal health care, or UHC, wherein the UHC study group
of the University of the Philippines, Manila, presented the concept and the implied reforms in 6 health sectors should UHC system be adopted by the newly elected President Benigno Aquino. In 2012, UHC became the health agenda of President Aquino and is now officially referred to as Kalusugan Pangkalahatan. The Department of Health and the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation are the primary institutions to present the initial program to implement the mandate of KP, which is ultimately to provide health care to all Filipinos regardless of their economic status and ability to pay. The RTD was conducted to provide, to generate status reports on the implementation of DOH's response to UHC and to identify support policy directions of the program. In 2013, National Scientist Ernesto Domingo was awarded with the Ramon Magsaysay Award for the continuing effort in pursuing excellence in healthcare programs. For 2014-2015, NAS supported 3 roundtable discussions on universal healthcare under the project Health System Shaper that was aimed to gather all the different sectors of the society, including individuals or groups that are involved in shaping and reforming the health system. Also to align the target goals of these sectors and link them with the government. To forge also a white paper on UHC for 2016 and beyond. Still in support of the universal health care in 2016, the recommendation to declare that all Filipinos are covered by UHC or KP became part of the 2016 annual scientific meeting of NAS, theme of which is looking back and looking forward as a major strategy to address one of the basic needs of the Filipino people. This recommendation, formulated then, was forwarded to the then newly elected President Rodrigo Duterte and his cabinet for their consideration. And good news, last February 2019, President Duterte signed the Universal Health Care Act that will provide all Filipinos access to health products and services and will automatically enroll them to the National Health Insurance Program. The law ensures that all Filipinos will have a guaranteed access to various health services and affordable health products. So medyo po matagal na process, but here we are, we have the law. So, I think the group of Dr. Ernesto Domingo, may mga nire-review pa sila, but natutuwa sila sa mga pangyayari. And to share you additional good news, one of our members, Academician Carmencita Di Padilla, member of the Last Health Sciences Division, and UP Manila Chancellor, was the one who shepherded, through DAS assistance, the passing of the newborn screening law. Dr. Padilla also advises mothers to let their children undergo newborn screening as the first step in diagnosing rare diseases. The screening, however, cannot detect all the diseases. Some can be diagnosed by the pediatrician while they are still growing up. That's why regular checkup is really needed. In relation to this, Republic Act number 10747, or the Rare Disease Act of the Philippines, was signed into law in March 3, 2016. And we helped heard on this
We conducted several roundtable discussions and science legislative forums in Congress and Senate. This law seeks to improve the access of patients diagnosed with or suspected to have a rare disease to comprehensive medical care and to timely health information to help them cope with their condition. So yun po ang good news from the Health Sciences Division of NAS. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Director Ludingning. So we have just departed the updates from the National Academy of Science and Technology as reported by the President and the Director of the DOST-Philippines, respectively. At this point in time, we will be having a short open forum. Oh, okay, sorry. I thought two topics lang muna then the synthesis. Okay, so to synthesize our discussions during the whole two-day Visayas Regional Scientific Meeting, may I call on our national scientist, Lourdes J. Cruz, member of the Mathematical and Physical Sciences Division of DOST-Philippines. Please give Scientist Cruz a round of applause, please.
What I'm going to do is talk first about the Future Earth program as a report, and then link this to this what transpired in this RSM on caring for our carrying capacity. So the Future Earth is a global program for sustainability. And so we have also established, there is a Future Earth Global, Future Earth Asia, and we established a Future Earth Philippines program that was approved by the DOST to implement starting September 1 of 2018. So why worry about the Philippines sustainability? Here is a graph showing countries with biocapacity deficit. So as you see here, the Philippines has only 0.6 global hectares per capita remaining of our biocapacity. Malaysia has 2.4, Indonesia 1.3, and Thailand 1.3. And so we have the lowest biocapacity among the ASEAN countries. And our global ecological footprint, that is how much we disturb the environment, is 1.1 for the Philippines, 4.4 for Malaysia, 2.5 for Thailand, and 1.6 for Indonesia. So the other Asian countries are also becoming deficit in ecological capacity. But the Philippines, as you see, the Philippines is the one that has been operating in an ecological deficit of biocapacity for the past more than 50 years. So, ang laki na ng problema natin. Per capita, ang liit na ng ating remaining biocapacity mix. And here are the biocapacity predictors of the developed countries. Australia still has 13.3. Canada has 15.2, and their ecological footprint is 6.9 and 8 respectively. So ang laki pa ng kanilang operating space. Next. So as for ecological footprint, you know very well what has been discussed yesterday about the countries being among the worst plastic polluters in the world. And that even in Manila Bay, we have not only plastic, but human waste. In Manila Bay,
the safe level, where the safe level should be 100 most probable unit. In terms of the coliform, we have two stations, 35 million and 7.9 million most probable number in Manila Bay. And according to the WHO, we have the third highest death rate due to outdoor pollution, and second due to indoor pollution. And we of course have a lot of other types of pollution, including from unsustainable mining and unsustainable agriculture. Biocapacity loss, as we all know, is due to deforestation, destruction of coral reefs, mangrove destruction, and destruction of other ecosystems. And you have very well experienced Typhoon Yolanda, and then we have typhoons that have caused floods in different parts of the country. Plus we have the Bohol earthquake and the volcanic eruptions. Next. And so the objective of the Future Earth Philippines program is that we want to establish the program so that we can provide a scientific and social basis for policies for sustainability and improve citizen action and stakeholder participation efforts to attain Philippine sustainability. And so there's our outputs and outcomes, but the overall, what we want to achieve is an improvement of our overall capacity to attain the SDGs. And so we have here the impact that we want to have an impact on the attainment of the SDGs. And at the same time, NEDA pointed out to us that we should include Ambition Natin 2040. So there are three pillars to sustainable development: the social, environmental, and economic. Kailangan magkakasama ito. Hindi lang pwedeng scientific approach. Kailangan we have to work with social scientists, natural scientists working with social scientists. And there should be a balance of environment, economic development, and social development. And so these are, I'll show you very fast. This is the workshop activities for the IPs. This one is assessment workshop. And the next one is the launching of Future Earth Philippines program at the Manila Hotel with the representatives from Future Earth Global and Future Earth Asia. Okay, so we are now continuing gap and overlap analysis, and we are developing proposals on Philippine knowledge to action programs so that hindi lang nandiyan sa shelf yung ating studies, but we should be able to use it. Kasi kahit na gaano karami tayong alam, kung hindi natin nagagamit ito, parang baliwala lang, So we are currently developing a digital hub. We will have a harmonization workshop at the LSU, and to harmonize the different Philippine knowledge to action programs, we will do a road mapping and sustainability. And we want to have a program that will be sustainable beyond the project period. Okay, in case we don't get successive support. And then we are doing strategic communication, capacity building and education, and sustainability science and practices. And at the end, we want to have science-based policy recommendations to present to our lawmakers, policy, the administration, the policymakers, and the local governments, and also to industry. And so our main challenges are, well, it's difficult enough to have to put together a transdisciplinary program, because as you know, we have been comfortable working in silos. And so talaga dapat magkasama-sama. And then also, it has to be inclusive. Dapat kasama ang community. We consult the community even at the start. And also, ang pinakamalaking problema ata is really developing agility in implementing the programs. And we have encountered a lot of difficulties in implementing the Future Earth program so far in terms of how to spending money, etc. Okay. So let me now go to the, what I'll do is just to uh, go through the highlights of what happened yesterday. I'm not going to do anything about today because you have just heard them. Are very good talks on education. But yesterday, last President of the Commission, Rodora Aganta, welcomed the participants and related the SDGs 4, 12, and 14 on quality education, responsible consumption, and production, and life below water to the RSM theme of caring for the country's carrying capacity. And relevant to the RSM theme, Secretary Fortunato de la Peña's message mentioned the DOST project on the development of biodegradable polymers and use of rubber and plastic waste as additive for street pavement. And then he also mentioned yung Picard's project on fisheries and the feeds and culturing of some species. And on the talent retention programs, was mentioned that there is now a more attractive package of incentives for DOST's Balik Scientist program. And Yusek Guevara emphasized that innovations must lead to creating social and economic value. And she mentioned a new project, and I'm excited about this, is the establishment of the first Advanced Manufacturing Center, AMCEN, which will strengthen and expand the country's capabilities in 3D printing and advanced design and additive manufacturing. This will allow rapid fabrication of various 3D objects, ranging from small and big parts for biomedical devices, printed electronics, agricultural machinery, aerospace, and automotive industry. And at this point, let me say that the OST's consultant for the AMCEN program is a corresponding member of NAS, Dr. Robert Advincula of KPSR, and he is a Balik scientist. And Director Edgar Esperancillo described the DOST support programs and services in Region 8, including SETUP, the CES program, CAPE, and MPEX. Okay. And in the first session, plenary session on plastic waste, all three speakers stressed plastic waste generation is an enormous problem for our country and the world, with the Philippines as the third worst plastic polluter despite the country's small size compared to the two top plastic polluters, China and Indonesia. And then the most abundant waste are single-use plastics. The rules and regulations that govern plastic waste in the Philippines are encompassed in the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000, or Republic Act 9003. But it was pointed out that this Republic Act is very comprehensive, but additional provisions must be considered to address the challenges of plastic waste. As a Commission Directive said that it's the versatility and usefulness and low cost of plastic that has led to the widespread use of plastic, and then the problems that we now have about plastic waste that's endangering our environment and our lives. And according to him, plastic waste are a big challenge because there are numerous types of polymers and plastic composition. So recycling has problems because iba-iba. You can use the different types of recycling methods. And non-biodegradable plastics are reduced in size from macro to micro to nanoparticles and fibers that can be ingested by different species. Hindi lang yung macroplastics na nakita natin that are ingested by the turtles and the birds. So the nanoplastics is maybe much more dangerous to more people, more organisms, because these are maybe taken up in cells. And then the chemical additives in use in used in plastics can be endocrine disruptors, or commonly known as gender benders, and carcinogens. He added that the waste management strategy of 3 Rs must be augmented with a strategy redesign. Dr. Agnes Rolla tackled the challenges in governance and implementation of the solid waste management program, focusing on plastic. Waste composition is influenced by culture, economic development, climate, and energy sources, as reflected by the global data. And implementation of RA 9003, the Ecological Waste Management Program, presents challenges at the local level in terms of institutional capacities, funding, lack of space for landfills and materials recovery facilities, and lack of policy and technical support. To effect behavioral change at the local level, there is a need for participatory approach with the academic facilitating the understanding of issues, assessment of problems, and building partnerships in planning strategic action. She cited Los Baños as an example of a municipality with a very good plastic waste management program. Dr. Alvin Colava cited the Ocean Conservancy 2015 report, again identifying the Philippines as a significant contributor to the plastic waste in the ocean, with 2.7 metric tons of plastic waste, of which 50% ends up in aquatic and marine resources. And that the major source of solid waste comes from the residential sector, 57%, where 20% are plastics and other recyclable materials. And Pasig River is among the worst rivers in terms of dumping plastics into the marine environment. He presented a life cycle assessment, LCA, of plastic carry bags to quantify the overall impact on global warming, ozone depletion potential, toxicity, and others. His results revealed the preferred use of plastics owing to its higher reusability compared to paper as carry bags. Apparently, the production stage causes the biggest environmental damage among the life stages of single-use plastic. In plenary session 2, Sustainable Marine Food Security, Roland Geronimo presented the projected and historical impacts of climate change on physical-chemical properties of marine waters relative to species richness and catch potential. Warmer waters result in reduced carrying capacity, and different fishes species will tend to migrate to cooler waters with increasing global temperature. Thus, some species found in the Philippines, they move northwards, so mawawala na sa atin, but apparently, this will be compensated by the migration of Indonesian species to Philippine waters. So, parang okay pa rin siguro tayo if the temperature does not go up too high. So, the effect of climate change on different species varies. There was a slide that shows the most affected species are a species of anchovies, 2 species of mackerel, and 5 other species. And his recommendations include understanding of fish-environment interaction, investment in high-resolution and locally parameterized regional climate and ocean models, in partnership with neighboring countries, and an expanded monitoring and adaptive management system and the production of a Philippine Ocean Atlas. On the other hand, Dr. Roger Mamawag concentrated on the cost-effective tips made from locally made materials for a sustainable aquaculture industry. The Philippines is among the top 10 producers of finfish from inland aquaculture and mariculture. But due to the increasing pressure on the use of fish meals, research is now being done as an alternative nutrient sources for fish feeds, such as copra enhanced, protein enhanced copra meat for shrimp and fish, and various plant proteins for sea bass. In addition to the usual plant proteins, water hyacinth, fungophills, marine vertebrates, and fish byproduct hydrolysates and their blends are being explored with respect to digestibility and performance as protein and energy sources for aqua and mariculture. He recommends promoting herbivorous species for aquaculture and reducing the use of fish meat and fish oil and the use of environmentally sensible and sustainable management practices. So, as you see, the RSM theme of caring for our carrying capacity is very well in line with the Future Earth Philippines program, and we want to advocate that let's all work together to attain Philippine sustainability. The program was developed by NAS under the project on the development of partnerships in the SDI ecosystem, and but it is now being implemented by NRCP with NAS as the cooperating agency. And we have been instructed by Secretary De La Peña to work closely with NENA. So that's all for my report. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, National Scientist Cruz. That was really an excellent synthesis of the two-day scientific meeting. Before I open the floor for question and answer, may I be allowed to announce an administrative concern given to me by the Secretariat. It says that those resource persons and NAST members scheduled to leave today should check out at 12 noon. Thank you po. So we will now open the floor for the questions and clarifications. Okay, who's gonna ask the first question? Wala ba? Anybody from the audience who wish to be clarified or who wish to give recommendation? Considering that this is one of the cluster scientific meeting that will be conducted in preparation for the annual national scientific meeting, which will be conducted in July. So may I request our president what is going to happen come July for the annual scientific meeting? What are we expecting?
There will be resolutions that will be presented from this RSM. They will be incorporated in the annual scientific meeting together with the other resolutions coming from Luzon and Mindanao. But of course, the theme would be the same. But we are considering the local problems, the local concerns. That's the reason why we go to the different regions. There could be some overlaps, but there could be some region-specific resolutions. So we put them together during the annual scientific meeting. That's the same theme. And of course, We're going to give them to the different agencies of the government and also the cabinet, of course, and the legislative body, meaning Senate and Congress. And of course, this would be in line with our theme. Thank you.
Thank you, President Sansa. Yes, yes, sir. Academician Torres, please.
I would like, maybe for the information of many of us, kasama ako, maybe a more precise definition of what we really mean by carrying capacity. Diba? There was a definition by Dr. Cruz in the future case about the difference between, the gap between two numbers, right? That is an abstract representation of carrying capacity. But to me, a more, how shall I put it, layman's type of understanding, diba? Because carrying capacity could mean a lot of, could have different interpretation. But I think, as a science and technology body, we probably should have a more, diba? Hindi lang for ourselves, but also for the common Filipino. Kasi, in contrast to what we're saying, there are people who will say, kaya ng Philippines mas malaking population. Diba? At tayo, sinasabi natin mukhang hindi kaya. Eh, dapat mayroong iba pang pag-communicate na sa tingin ko, sinasabi nga natin, kulang na yung kakayanan natin. Sinasabi natin, no? Diba? So, caring for, sana kung kaya, we'll care for it so that hindi bababa. Pero kung bababa na, diba? Maybe we need to do something else other than caring, diba?
Thank you for that question, Academician Torres.
We're going to come up with something more understandable by the public in terms of infographics, maybe for the second and the third RSM. But as far as I know, in terms of what I've been reading and knowing, the capacity of an organism to regenerate its needs in terms of food, water, and other basic necessities, that is the carrying capacity. If you consider one species, you can also make use of the term carrying capacity for a certain space, like for example, Boracay's carrying capacity for tourism. Okay, there has been an estimate of the carrying capacity of Boracay for a certain number of tourists. And we, during that closed-door forum for Boracay, we gave this to the users who were available during that time. And it became a very important issue when the President and his cabinet decided on the number of tourists that can be accommodated in Boracay per day, meron pa nga sila per day, those who can stay during the night, and so on. So maraming metrics that should be considered for carrying capacity. Yesterday, Geronimo talked about carrying capacity in terms of the fish, the needs of the fish in terms of the organism's needs in terms of the area where it is live and so on. The population, how many can be carried in a particular space. So it depends on the organism. You can use it particularly to an organism or at a particular space. So that now we are considering the country's carrying capacity for pollution in terms of plastics and carrying capacity in terms of the food, marine food especially.
Thank you again, President Sansa. So, wala na. So it's already 12:15 in my watch. So let's give another round of applause to our speakers, President Academician Rodolfo B. Asansa, National Scientist Lourdes Cruz, and Director Lorinding Samarita Domingo. As part of the DOST-Philippines efforts to provide you timely topics and interesting speakers, we would appreciate if you would fill out the evaluation form provided to each and every one of you. Please present the accomplished evaluation form to the registration area to claim your certificate of attendance this afternoon. Copies of the plenary session presentations will be available at the NAST website at www.nast.ph. We would like to invite everyone to follow NAST social media accounts on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and use the official hashtag Visayas RSM 2019. Hashtag Philippines. We are at NAST Philippines on Twitter and on Instagram. And our official Facebook page is at www.facebook.com/NASTPhilippines. Please be back by 1 p.m. for the closing ceremonies. Thank you very much and enjoy your lunch. So may I request everyone to please stand up as we pray for the grace before meals. Bless us, O Lord.